Friday on Home and Family, actor Dylan Neal tells us what we can expect in the new season of the Hallmark Channel original series Cedar Cove, and actress Italia Ricci gives us a look at her ABC Family series Chasing Life. That's Friday right here on Home and Family. All right, settle in. You can relax. We're going to demystify all of the college loans thing. Well, it is. Managing college loans getting more and more complicated, it seems, year to year. Well, back with some low-cost and even free websites to help cut through the confusion, separate things for us. Financial guide expert Harvey Warren. It's good to have you here. You always seem to make these things clearer for me.
I'll do my best.
And hopefully for our viewers. Let's start at the nation's capital. What is the latest news coming from the White House about this situation with student loans?
Well, they're pretty clear that there's a lot of trouble with student loans. It's keeping people out of the economy. They're not buying cars. They're not, buying houses. They're dying underneath their student loans. So the Obama administration came up with a pay-as-you-earn plan. And what that does is it takes the debt ceiling down to 10% of your disposable income, which in some cases, when people aren't making the income they want to make, is zero. So sometimes your payment can be zero. It also capped the payment length of time, the duration, to 10 years instead of 25 years. And what does that mean? That means after 10 years of making payments, whatever you can pay, the loan is discharged. That's saving some people hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
That's a good thing.
Are they penalized in any way whatsoever? Is their credit take a hit or anything?
No. This is a program that's set up by the federal government with their federal loans. It doesn't really help much on private loans, but the good news for the federal loans is that it now has an end point, where before there was no end to it.
Okay, so, all right, last time you were here, you shared with us some information to a website that helped people sort of manage these loans that they have.
That was studentloanhero.com.
Yeah.
It seemed to confuse everybody.
Yeah, there were more questions than maybe answers.
Well, the problem is that that's just your federal loans, and people sometimes have a mix of private and federal loans, which is already confusing. The Student Loan Hero is a sensational site for aggregating all of your federal loans, able to lay out a spreadsheet of exactly what you owe and who you owe it to, which is terrific. But not your private loans. So people were going, hey, Harvey, now what do I do? What about these private loans? So I searched around, and we figured out a place where you can go to get good live people talking to you about how to get fixed.
And where is that?
That would be Debt Management Credit Counseling. They are DMCC. info.org.
Okay.
And that's a nonprofit credit counseling agency. Those folks do HUD counseling for housing and urban development. They do bankruptcy counseling for the Department of Justice. So you know that it's the real deal. These are a real, authentic nonprofit credit counseling site. And they're there to help you with your student loan problems as well. And they are live people that actually know how to fix it.
So you want to get somebody on the phone. This is
right, and there's a free calculator. That dmccinfo.org is a free calculator there. You plug it in 5 minutes, you know what's going on in your student loans. And think about it. It's, 5 minutes of your time to figure it out, or 25 years of trouble.
Does it bring the two together? I'm a little confused on it. Does it bring together the private loans that you have?
That was the confusion.
Yeah.
Student Loan Hero only does your federal loans.
Okay.
The guys at the dmccinfo.org, they are able to give you an overall plan on how to address your full student loan problem. That's the trick.
Wow.
There are some organizations out there, though, that charge like $140, charge a lot of money, $450 to do all of this, but there are other places to go to where you can go to check your credit or loan or help you for $49 or even $100.
Exactly.
And where are they, and who should we avoid?
Well, yeah, you may have heard some of the news that they're complaining that people can do this themselves.
Right.
And that people shouldn't be charged to figure out what to do with their student loans. The theory is you can call your servicer, and they're going to tell you what your options are. Unfortunately, the servicers are like the IRS or like Social Security. They can't give you advice. They can only tell you answers to the questions you're asking. So you need to ask the right questions.
Right.
This is how it gets so complicated. Right.
What kind of questions do you have to ask?
Well, first of all, you need to know where your loans are. That's what Student Loan Hero is good for.
Okay.
The second thing you need to know, are you current, are you delinquent, or are you in default? Default happens over 270 days. And there are different solutions to your student loan problem based upon where you are in that cycle. The good news is the pay-as-you-earn is really advantageous to whether your loans are really old, whether they're in default, whether they're new loans. It's meant to help everybody by December 2015.
Let me ask you something. I know over lunch we asked someone on our staff about their student loan, and she said that it's automatically taken from her paycheck every month.
Right.
And she didn't know how much she was paying or the interest. How dangerous is that?
Well, it's really dangerous.
And can she fix that, or can she go back and get well, can she fix that?
Well, to her credit, she was able to figure it out on the phone while we were sitting there, in 3 minutes.
How did
she
you do
logged on to Sallie Mae and asked the question, how much is my interest rate? And she got an answer. It was like 5 1/4, I think, which is pretty good. If it's under 6 3/4, I think you're in good shape.
So you should know every month how much they're deducting and what interest that you're paying.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit how you can locate some of these sites.
Well, there's a terrific credit counseling association, which covers about 40 different agencies. It's called ACCPros.org, ACC, Association of Consumer Credit Counseling Professionals, ACCPros.org. And there's a locator right on there. If you really want to sit down and sit across the table like we are and really talk to somebody, there are bricks and mortar debt counseling agencies that are there to help you.
All right, government options?
Government options. Well, you know, it's kind of like the credit card problem. You got to get on the phone and ask questions. What program do you have for me? And there's a number of them. There's the IBR plan, which we discussed last time, which is the income-based repayment plan. There's now this pay-as-you-go thing or pay-as-you-earn thing, which is a whole it's kind of like the IBR plan on steroids. It's much shorter time frames and much lower percentage rates. So those websites that I've given you are the place to go to ask the questions. What's the best possible thing you can do for me to relieve this debt burden?
Do you have a final message you want to leave with our viewers?
Yeah, I think the big message here is you got to get involved. If your student loans are killing you, you've got to make the phone call. It's just like your credit cards.
Yeah.
Your lack of action is a bigger problem than your lack of money. You got to call up and say, what can you do for me?
I've learned that from you. You've come on and you always said you've got to pick up the phone, talk to somebody. Don't let them bully you
That's
around.
the deal.
And take control of your.
And if you can't figure it out, the guys at DMCC will tell you exactly what to do.
Well, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, you're so cool. You're just super cool. Okay.
More information, go to homeandfamilytv.com. Please visit harveywarren.com too, and tell them I sent you.
My pleasure.
There you go.
You sent them? No, Harvey sent you. Okay.
No, tell Harvey that I sent.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. We're going to go and see Debbie now.
We are? Oh, we got to be eating
Debbie.
then.
Are you looking for a dish that will really impress your friends? Well, come on back. It's whole baked lemon infused sea trout. I'm delicious.